Hi, everyone. Alrighty, so I am live for the first time on Facebook for a good while. And welcome, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. I am going to make this screen bigger on my end. There it is. Alrighty, welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This live stream I really wanted to do because there's only so much text on a screen that I can do, honey. Before I want to get closer to you, I want to touch you more. I want to, not like that, but I want to get closer to you. I want to know how you feel. I want to know how I can support you. I want to know what you're thinking. And I just felt like words on a screen was not going to cut it. And I wanted to go live so that I could really reach you some more, so I could really serve you some more. So if you're coming into the room, I welcome you. I really do. And please send me some hearts, some thumbs up. Also, come into the comments section and just say hi. I'm on StreamYard, so it may not show me exactly who is here or what you're saying. But when you come into the chat, just say hi, tell me your name, so that I can greet you properly, because hopefully StreamYard will show me your name, but it doesn't always. So welcome, come into the room. I want you to just come in, feel relaxed. If you can get a cup of tea, get a cup of tea. If you can tag your friends and let them know that I'm live, and I'm talking about confidence today and what to do if you feel you lack confidence and how to really show up for yourself this year so that you are somebody who is heard and respected and valued in your content, at work, in your business, in your loving relationship. But today we're specifically talking to you about just confidence in general. And I felt the need to reintroduce myself to people here. Hi, I'm Charlene, the Vocal Alchemist, and I really help you to have the voice of your dreams that creates the wealth that you want, the salary increase that you want, the love that you want. And this particular area is such a tricky area, the area of public speaking, because there's so much fear around it. There's so much fear around going live and being on camera. And I wanted to dispel some myths. I really wanted to get into some of my background so that you guys get to know me a bit more. So go ahead and tag your people. Let them know that I am live. Come into the comments section and say hi. Tell me your name, because I'm not sure if StreamYard will tell me your name, because I'm not directly on Facebook. So, as I said, I'm Charlene, the Vocal Alchemist. I want you to know the magic, the true power, the superpowers of your voice. And I want to tell you who I am really and properly so that we can get a bit closer, so that we don't have this tech war separating us. I wanted to do something that captured the most of my essence so that you could get to know me the best. All right. And video and live video is the best thing that is available to me for you guys to get to know me even more. Okay. If you're coming into the room, say hi. I can't see names, I can only see numbers. So come into the room, say hi in the comments, tag your people, let them know that I am live. So, as a vocal alchemist, I have been a public speaker for 35 years. Okay. I have coached singers, I've coached recording artists, I've sung with recording artists, people like Adele, Jennifer Hudson, people like Smokey Robinson for 2 decades, 20 years. Okay. And after I coached singers, hi, Alison. Hi, gorgeous. Lovely to have you. As I transitioned from coaching singers, I started to coach speakers. And I've been coaching speakers for several years, public speakers. And I wanted to talk about something that I've never really seen be spoken about in the public speaking space. So, what I have seen spoken about in the public speaking space is techniques, methodology to help you manage a lack of confidence. I've heard other teachers talk about they don't believe that it's actually possible to not be confident, truly. And I call stanking BS, basically. I call stanking BS and all of it. In today's broadcast, I really want to tell you what the foundations are of really, truly being confident, because I believe that your voice is the audible representation of your divinity. I believe that you are a divine being in a body. I believe that your voice is here for you to create things. In the Bible, in the scripture, it says, God said, let there be light. I believe that that is a literal representation of what your voice can do. That you can come on camera, that you can speak on a video, let there be light in terms of your sales. You can speak about your products. You can speak about how amazing you are in terms of your experience, in terms of what it is you have to offer. You can talk about your entire world of business and light it up and magnify it and amplify it, and people will buy from you. That's the whole premise of Let There Be Light. And that's the whole point of having a voice. It's to be able to activate the wealth, the visibility, the luxury that you really desire, because you have this beautiful gift within your larynx to be able to create things and to call things into being. So as a vocal alchemist, I do teach from the practical and the spiritual and the metaphysical. I believe in tackling all areas, because it's not just speak louder, project your voice. Those people at the back can't hear you. I want to know how you feel when you get on camera, when you get on stage, when you get on a live stream. How does it feel for you? And I want you to feel so relaxed in your body that when you do get on camera, when you do get on stage, when you are in the boardroom speaking to your colleagues and your superiors, you feel relaxed, anchored, safe in the body. Hi, Sophia. Hi, gorgeous. Go ahead and tag your people. Let them know that I am here. If you've already tagged them and I cannot see, I say thank you. If you're on the replay, tag your people. Let them know that I am here, because my job is really to be the good news evangelist, to tell people the real truth that's going to really shift you into being confident, into using your voice to create things that you want and not the things that you don't want. So you guys know how long I've been teaching for. You guys know what I teach. So let me just tell you this, okay? I'm going to be open and vulnerable, because honestly, I have nothing to hide. And in all of my career, singing for these amazing superstars, I knew how to appear as if I was confident. I knew how to execute. There were times that I bombed on stage, y'all. There were times that the nerves took over me and I just didn't sing well. But there were plenty of times that I did. But I always had this kind of niggling doubt at the back of my mind as to whether I was good enough. I compared myself to my peers. I would wonder, I would be scared about being fired, especially if I landed a really big job. And I would question myself all the time. And I really wish that Charlene knows what this Charlene knows now, because I know what it takes to shift. I know what it feels like to feel like you have no confidence and to feel like you've got a big job to do and you have to act like you do. I know what it feels like, because at the beginning of my singing career, when it was necessary for me to network and to make new friends and to actually open my mouth at open mic nights and sing, I was not singing because I was terrified that people would judge me. I was terrified that they would think I was not good enough. I was terrified. There was a moment in my career where I felt like I wasn't slim enough and I was bigger than what I was now. And I felt like I just had all of these I'm not good enough stories in my head and in my body, and I could feel it, and it would affect how my voice sounded. Hi, Desiree. Hi, gorgeous. And it affected how the volume of my voice. I would mute myself. I wouldn't say what I wanted to say. And it just, if I was going to do something like a performance or do something public, it would take a lot of adrenaline and I would end up with the stank arm sweat. You know, that sweat when you're stressed and it's like, ooh, child, need some deodorant. That kind of stress sweat, man. I just came to realize that that is not necessary to get the job done. It's not necessary to do it feeling afraid. It's not necessary. And I discovered my voice as I went along. I discovered that I'm a gifted speaker, yes, but I discovered how to teach this. I can see some people laughing. I discovered how to teach this to people so that they are eternally shifted. Okay. So I don't want you to think that I'm this teacher who has not been through some things, and that this teacher that who doesn't know what a lack of confidence feels like. My goodness, I've got videos in my back end that I never shared with anybody. Videos that were supposed to go on YouTube because I just didn't think that they were good enough and I just didn't share them. This was years ago now. I know what it is to procrastinate. You don't want to be on video. You feel like you're going to be judged. And oh my God, my face is bloated, or whatever the thing is. You don't. I have felt these things. I want to touch you. I want you to know that I'm human. I've experienced what you've been through, what you're going through now, and I want to spread the good news. The good news is this: there is hope for you to shift. There is hope for you to be truly anchored in who you are, in being relaxed when you speak. It is possible for you to not be afraid of other people's judgments. I'm a living witness, and if you didn't know me back then, maybe you wouldn't know the shifts that I've made. But if you knew me back then, honey, and some of you who have known me back then, you were kind of taken in by my show of confidence. I knew how to make it look good, honey. I knew how to make it look good. But this is how I like to teach. This is not fake it till you make it. This is not about looking good while you have the stress stank sweat underneath your armpits. Okay, this is really about feeling good. Your divine birthright is to feel good. Your divine birthright is to not mute yourself or edit yourself or filter yourself out of fear that people will judge you or abandon you, or it's my job to help you bridge that gap from where you are to where you need to be in order to get on camera, in order to speak with confidence. So let me just share with you the real thing that shifts people from fear to love, because that's what we're really talking about. When we talk about confidence, we are talking about fear to love. If any of you know scripture, or if you're a Christian, or if you know anything about the Bible, which has a lot of metaphysical application and goes beyond, transcends religion. I am not a Christian and I am not religious, but trust me, honey, I can recite the Bible for days. I understand what the Bible is saying, and the Bible actually came alive to me. Hear me when I say this. The Bible came alive to me when I left Christianity. It became so practical and so relevant to me. And I started to remember all of the scriptures that I was raised with, because I was raised in the church. I was in the church for 20 years. All of the things that I had been taught started to make sense, how practical it is. And so when the Bible talks about perfect love casts out fear, it made sense. Why does it make sense? Because fear and love operate on two separate channels. Where one is, it casts out the other. Where the other is, it casts out the other. When you are in a place of fear, it's very difficult for you to receive love. It's difficult to say what you want to say. It's difficult for you to sing notes in the way that you want to sing it. I don't know if you've ever had this thing, if you guys are singers out there, and you did that run and you executed that riff perfectly in the shower, and you get on stage and you're just like, and your voice breaks and cracks all over the place, and you're just like, what happened to me? I had this down in the shower and I sounded great and I know I'm great, but when it came to getting on stage in front of people, your voice froze or it locked up or something happened, and all the agility, all of the power, all of the strength that you had has flown out of the building. And same thing when you're speaking and you're with family and you're really comfortable with your family and it feels great. You feel great about saying what it is that you have to say. But as soon as you're with strangers, you become a church mouse. And if your family were to see you, they'd be like, that ain't you. You ain't shy. Some of you are not comfortable with family. And sometimes with family, you mute yourself or you tone yourself down. Okay. I'm just saying that there are two channels. There's the fear channel and then there is the love channel. And in that fear channel, it really puts so much weight and anxiety and angst on the voice that it cannot speak, it cannot create, it cannot sing, it cannot do what it's designed to do. Now, when it comes to confidence, what most of you are telling me that you are experiencing, and I want you to tell me, thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Is that better? Let me take it off. Hold on. Is that better? I've been told that my mic is clicking against this thing here. Let me just hold it in my hand. Is that a little bit better? There's a bit of interference. Send me some hearts, guys. Come into the chat. Just let me know if it's a bit better with the audio. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, big bro. Better. Okay, I'm just going to hold it like this because clankety, clankety, clank. Okay. All right. So you've got this thing. Brilliant. Brilliant. Nice sound now. Awesome. So you've got this thing where, and by the way, don't forget to tag your people, tell them to come in. I talk about things with regards to the voice that I literally do not see anywhere else. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own ass. I'm literally saying this because I've not heard this expressed in this way. And I really know and believe that what I have to say is going to help to set you free. So if you have people in your life and they could do with some confidence, or they could do with being able to show up more in their business or show up more in their voice, go ahead and tag them. Even if you don't feel like they need it, just go ahead and tag them so this message gets spread far and wide, because everybody needs to know about this because it's so, so, so important. All right. So I want to backtrack a little bit because there was interference on the line with the audio, but I want to talk about the channel of fear and love. All right. And when you're talking about the channel of fear, and I gave the example, right? You'll be in the shower and you're singing your heart out, and you've got a good voice, and you execute that riff perfectly, and you do that thing wonderfully, and then you get out of the shower and you get on stage, and then it's just like, that isn't even fair. Because how I sung on stage does not reflect how I sang that in the shower. Or you're with family and you're super, super comfortable with your family, and you speak up and you don't mute yourself, but when you're with strangers, you mute yourself. Or perhaps you're not even comfortable with your family. Perhaps it's in front of family that you mute yourself. So let's talk about getting on camera specifically. Being on camera can feel like the most destabilizing thing because it's like you can't even see the people, right? And so it brings up anxiety, as you might be like, who's going to watch? Is anybody watching? If nobody's watching, is this broadcast even good enough? What am I going to do if nobody shows up? And then if people show up, you might be wondering, what do they even think about me? Do they think that this is good? If the numbers go down, you're like, what did I do? What did I say? These are the things that can come up. And I want to give you a foundational tool that's really going to support you. So remember, we were talking about going from love to fear, from fear to love, and that these channels have switches. The most beautiful way for you to feel confident on camera is for you to understand where love comes from. When I hear you guys talk about why you are not confident, you're worried about what people say, you're worried about if people will judge you. Some of you don't like the sound of your own voice. When you listen to the replay of your own voice, you're like, I sound like that. Some of you are don't like this the look of you, and when you look at your own videos, you're kind of wondering, I don't want to post this. I don't like the way my appearance looks right now. I don't like it. And there's a whole heap of videos that you've never shared, or perhaps you've never gotten on camera. But let's just stay in the confidence zone just for a second. Hi, gorgeous Allegra. In order for you to be confident on camera, you must know where love comes from. Confidence is security and safety. That's what confidence is. So the security and the safety to speak about your value, to know that you are valuable, and to feel valued. That's what confidence is. It starts with safety and it starts with security. This is the reason why I teach safety and security before I teach technique. Okay? In order for you to feel safe and secure, you're going to have to sacrifice something for something else. Because in the fear channel is where all of the doubts lie, all of the fears of what people think lie. In the fear channel, you're very concerned about what other people are doing, what they would say about you, and what that means for you if they were to say, do, think those things, if they were to judge you, what that would do to your insides. Would it crush you? Would it, cause you to just give up, or whatever it is? That fear channel is designed to really, in this context, destabilize you, but it provides you with a choice. And the choice is, do you want to feel love and freedom more than you want to feel fear? And this question is so simple that some of you are going to be like, that's just too simple. That's not for me. But I'm telling you guys, and I can feel myself getting weepy when I talk about this, because the simplicity of that question. When I first started out on my real self-worth journey, it came at a real time where I had to lean into my worth with zero evidence. It's like this intangible thing. How do you value yourself? What does that even look like? What does that mean? Because you're priceless. There's no price on you. But what does that mean? And what it meant for me was I had to choose that I was worthy. I had to choose for it to make sense to me that regardless of what other people had said about me, could say about me, I chose to believe that I was worthy because I value me. And that's where it started. What do I value about me then? You value, pick little things that you value about yourself. You like your hair, you like your skin, you like the fact that you're whatever age you are and you're very youthful. You need to pick something. This is the root of feeling safe and secure. When you learn to choose the value within you, when you learn to choose your worth, and what you have to sacrifice is allowing any other person into your world to define what that worth is, or to say, there it is. Thank you. What it requires is for you to stop asking other people what they value about you, even subconsciously. What it requires is for you to really stand up and say, even if your voice quakes, and I'm talking about your internal voice, to stand up and say, I value this about me. I value my life. I value my existence. I am worth it to me. My life is worth it to me. My voice is worth it to me. My content is worth it to me. My business is worth it to me. My sales are worth it to me. Me speaking how I feel to my family member, it's worth it to me. It's worth it to me. I am worth it to me. It's not worth it to me to hold it in. It's not worth it to me to suppress myself. It's not worth it to me to say nothing, to mute myself, to be afraid. It's not worth it to me because I like how freedom feels. I like how I like how it feels to just finally say what I wanted to say. I like how it feels to be able to have the freedom to press record and record whenever I want to record because I like that freedom. It requires for you to find out what it is that you value about yourself. What is it that you value about your life? What is it that you value about you and make it worth it? This forms the basis of your security and your safety. And what happens when you get in front of an audience? Let's say you are on a speaker stage or on a live stream. You stop subconsciously asking them, do you value me? Is what I'm saying valuable to you? Is it worth it to you? Am I worth it to you? You stop negotiating and asking people to evaluate you. You stop having these questions, this energetic exchange, which is silent and subconscious to your audience. And you start making statements with periods at the end. No, I'm worth it to me. I'm valuable to me. What I'm saying is valuable to me. It's valuable to me. And you stop negotiating. This is what forms safety and security within you. And when it comes to your confidence, you're going to have to choose to sacrifice what for what. Meaning, you are going to have to say, I sacrifice negotiating my worth to know my worth because it feels good to me. It feels right to me. I am no longer willing to ask you to value me or to evaluate me in order for me to know my value. Do you know and understand how powerful non-negotiation is? And you may not feel like that's got anything to do with getting on camera, but trust me, it does. Because if nobody shows up on your live stream, if people show up and then they click off, you don't have any doubts about whether what you're doing is valuable, whether you are valuable or not, because it's non-negotiable. You're not reaching out to people energetically and saying, do you agree that I'm valuable? You're saying with a period at the end, I agree that I am valuable. This is the foundation of security, safety, and confidence. And this is what helps you to be so relaxed on stage. And do you know the beautiful thing? When you stop asking energetically your audience or other people to evaluate you or to agree with you that you are worthy and valuable, people relax in your presence because they can feel that you want nothing from them. You want nothing from them. They don't have to give you anything. They are free. They are free from having to answer those questions. They don't need to prop you up. They don't need to affirm you. Nothing. And you know what happens when people are free to love you or leave or choose you or not? They choose you. This is the irony of the spiritual and the energetic. When people feel like you're not relying on them to feel good, to feel affirmed, to feel worthy, to feel valuable. They feel free. And in them feeling free, they choose you. They naturally want to be around you. They naturally want to listen to you. There's something about you that's captivating. There's something about your essence that is captivating, and they just feel free around you. And it's that quote, which Maya Angelou says, that people may not remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. People want freedom, and you'll be able to give them freedom if you are free to choose yourself. This message revolutionized my life. It's revolutionized my clients, because most people come to me and if they have a question about their content, how do I speak to my audience, they say, for them to connect with me, for them to relate to me? And I say, stop trying to be relatable and stop trying to connect. Your connection with your audience is not your first question, my love. How do you connect to you? How do you affirm you? How are you non-negotiable with your worth and your value to you from you? That's the self-connect that is necessary. Once you connect with yourself, you give the audience the freedom to connect with you or not. They have a choice. They don't have to connect with you. They don't have to relate to you. They have a choice. So now they can choose you or not choose you. And I'm telling you that they will choose you because you've chosen you. Very, very soon, I am going to be breaking this down some more in the Quantum Confidence on Camera Masterclass. I already have a mini download about this, which is a downloadable class, but I am going to be taking this live. It's probably going to be a 3-day masterclass. And I want you guys to be able to get your questions answered specifically about your confidence, about ways to stop comparing yourself, ways to stop listening to all of the business noise that is out there that's telling you how to do something, and start listening to yourself, how to connect with yourself, how to stop negotiating with your confidence and your worth and your value, how to speak in ways that compel you, captivate you, and then you give the audience the freedom to be captivated and compelled by you if they want. This foundational confidence is probably not what you expected, or you may not have heard this before. There are many tips and techniques that will teach you how to have the appearance of the confidence whilst you have the stanky arm sweat underneath your pits. No, ma'am, we don't do stanky arm sweat pits over here. I'm going to teach you to be relaxed and embodied and confident and anchored and feel safe and feel secure. You will find that a lot of these other technique things, they tend to drop away. It's the reason why I was speaking about ums and ahs. That is, and by the way, this is a real big conversation I did not expect to have. It really blew up in a Facebook group that I shared it in, and it really polarized people, because what I said was, if you've been following me, you would have seen, but what I said was, please don't eliminate your ums and ahs. You are human, you are not a robot. And I said something like, be so full of value that the ums and ahs don't matter. Ooh, child, all hell broke loose. Most of the feedback was positive, and y'all, I don't care about positive feedback or negative feedback. I really don't. I've set myself free from all of that. I know what works and I know what is the truth. Allegra said she saw that post. Because the thing is, if you're going to go to technique first, you've missed it. If I go to technique first, I've missed you. I've missed how you feel. I've missed your emotions. I've missed you. And so let's get you relaxed and secure and anchored in your body. Let's see how many ums and ahs you say then. It will naturally diminish. So yeah, I help you from the inside out. Can you imagine, what would you be able to do if you treated live streams or being on stage as a public speaker like your front room? What would you be able to achieve with your content? How much better would your speeches, your talks, your presentations be if you were to be that relaxed that you just felt like everybody was in your front room? Can you imagine? Yeah, this is the revolution. Alrighty. If you want information about this quantum confidence on camera live masterclass, and I'm going to be talking not just about camera stuff, I'll be talking about confidence generally as a speaker. If you want that information, put the hashtag confidence in the comments below. If you are in watching this on the replay, just feel free to still write that hashtag confidence. And when it's out, I will tag you. I will give you the I will give you the links. I'm just reading this comment. Thank you, Allegra. She said, Charlene Linton will get your entire life together. I'm a witness. Check out my reviews. I appreciate you so much, my sis. And like I said, this live stream, the purpose of this live stream was I wanted to warm up my page. I wanted to get beyond writing on a colorful background. It was not enough for me. It is not enough for me. I need you closer to me. I want to know what you're thinking. I'm going to be getting in some of your DMs. I want to know how you are. I want to be there. I want to offer solutions. I want to help you. And so this video really was for me to do that, just to step a little bit closer to you. Some of you have never heard my voice. Some of you are new followers. You've never even heard my voice before. Ta-da, I'm British. Just in case you didn't know, most of my followers are from the States. So go ahead and tag your people. And if you want this details of the quantum confidence masterclass, then go ahead and put the hashtag confidence below, and I will get you details. It won't be free, but it will be affordable enough for you to come in. I just want you to come in. I want you to experience what it is I have to teach you, and we'll be going deeper. All right. So is there anything else? Do you have any questions, by the way, before we end? Do you have any questions? I know there's a bit of a lag on these things, so I'll wait a little bit. One thing I didn't say was the door is also open if you desire to have one-to-one sessions with me. You can have an hour's vocal alchemy consultation with me. I'm a reader of vocal energy, and what that means is I can hear energy, I can hear frequency when you speak. I know exactly what's holding you back from the confidence that you desire. I know exactly, because I can hear it. I can hear stuff all the way back to childhood, stuff that you have not told me. All right. It just serves me to serve you as to what is really in your way, because your voice is here to create things. It's to create the things that you want. If you're not creating the things that you want when you speak, you need to come into a session with me. But for now, go ahead and put that hashtag confidence, and I'll get you the link for that. And we're going to end right here. I love you guys so much. It's really been a pleasure to have all of you. We've almost gone for 40 minutes, and I'm going to end it here. I love you. Feel free to share, tag your people, share your people, share. Okay, there's a question. What would you tell a woman who feels like she is intimidating? It depends. There's a nuance there, because if somebody thinks that somebody feels that she's intimidating, it could be because she has a wall up, she has a guard up against people getting close to her. And so she puts on a very tough girl image or persona in order to protect herself against being hurt. Or she could feel like she's intimidating because she's very direct, she's very clear in what she has to say, and she's around people who are people pleasers and are not very direct. There's all sorts of reasons why that could be. But what I would say to her is to really look within herself and ask herself, what is it that she really wants? If she wants to connect more, she may need to soften a little bit more. She may need to not have a wall up. She may not need to be so defensive. Do you know what I mean? And just soften a little bit and allow people to get close to her. Um, that's what I would say. That's a great question. Thank you for that question. Alrighty, so I'm going to end the broadcast. It's been a pleasure. Ah, second part of the question, she may not feel like she's intimidating, but people feel intimidated by her anyway. I would say to that person to get some feedback if she can. Get some feedback as to why these people feel intimidated. It would be really, really good intel for herself as to whether it's a her thing or a them thing. All right. And, but the main thing is, it really comes down to how is it that you feel when you speak as a woman? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel centered in your own body? Do you feel safe? A lot of the rest of the things will take care of themselves, if that makes sense. But, if that woman really wants to come into a session with me, go ahead and tell her to get in my inbox so that we can get to the root, to the root, to the root. All right. Love you guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.